Hey, shorties. I was not planning to go live whatsoever, but I was just recording some TikTok videos and I was like, I miss the people on YouTube. So, hey, cool kids, what's up? Um, I've just been thinking a lot. First of all, I have not posted a video in a couple days. And I the little perfection bug was trying to get me again. Like I I want everything to be everything I want it to be in my head. I don't want to have to be real, I don't want to have to work for it. I don't want nobody to see me struggle. I don't want to feel weird. Like I don't want to feel uncomfortable. That's what it is. And I just want everything to be perfect. I want every interaction I have to be perfect. I want everything that I make to be perfect. And I want to be understood immediately every time I do something. And all of those things that I just said are impossible. And I can't get growth without work. I'm gonna have moments I'm uncomfortable. I'm gonna have things that I create, interactions that I have that are less than perfect. And that's okay. The imperfections, I wrote this quote down today, and it is from an old therapy session I had, I think. And it basically was saying, oh, here it is. It's your imperfection that makes you perfect for the job. Literally. And I don't want to be imperfect. Are you kidding me? Like I'm like that doesn't make sense. And I think when you really get down to like what being a Christian even is, what it means, all the things, it's like it doesn't make sense, right? That God will do something for you that you don't deserve, and that there's new grace and new mercy every day. He'll get that to you over and over, even though you never can earn it, and that you're gonna be good. Huh? Like that sounds insane, but it is real and it's a fact. And I think I keep trying to make everything logical. Do y'all feel that? Like I keep trying to make everything make sense. And because everything doesn't make sense, then I just count myself out. I count Pound Pros out. I count this channel out. I will count out my lovely apartment that God gave me because I don't get how it's gonna make sense that I can get the things that I want to get up in here. Okay, I want West Elm to throw up in my apartment. Like everything, I want everything that I want, my taste, my style, all of it. I'm like, how is it gonna get in here? And because it doesn't make sense, then I'm like, well, I might as well have not gotten this place because I'm not gonna be able to live in here how I want. Huh? That doesn't even make sense, right? But because everything isn't logical to me from jump, I want to cut everything. And that is so dangerous. So where have I been? Away trying to find perfection land. And perfection land, I'm finding, does not exist unless your name is Jesus Christ, which my name, in case y'all haven't figured out, is not Jesus Christ. And it's been really messing me up. Like standing on the ledge of jumping out to whatever I'm finna jump to that guy got waiting on me. I'm like, oh, we about to do this for real? And he's like, yeah, we about to do it for real. And I'm like, are you sure I can do this for real? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure you can do it for real. And then I just stand there. Right. And when you stand in a place for a long time, things happen and you feel stagnant because you're not moving. When you stand in a place for a long time, you can get dehydrated because you didn't went through your supplies that was supposed to get you to where you were. You've used the supplies. There's more supplies after you jump, but you don't want to do it. So when you don't jump from where you standing, you can't go backward because you're here now, right? I can't go back to when I was in high school. I can't go back to when I was in college. I can't go back to when I first moved to New York. I can't go back to none of them times. Like I am where I'm at. You are where you are right now. Can't go back. So we can't go back, but we're standing still because we don't want to go forward. What happens? You start to get real pissed off. That's what's been happening to me. I've been feeling really disgruntled because I'm like, now why am I not moving forward? Why do I still feel like this? Why am I still experiencing this emotion, these feelings, this money in my bank account, lack of money in my bank account, whatever? And then I start to make stories because there's nothing else to do. When you don't have action and movement, your mind is going to start moving and it's going to create movies in your head. It's going to create scenarios. And I've been getting real good at creating scenarios that do not serve me whatsoever. Don't serve me at all. And What happens when you do that? You do not have an accurate view of where you're at. You don't have an accurate view of where you've been, and you can't even fathom where God is trying to take you. That's what I've been experiencing. I have been sitting in the same spot, and then I start beating myself up. Can I keep it a buck? I be beating myself up. People be sitting in a space like mad at other people because they didn't feel like support or whatever. And I'm not saying I've never felt that, but the person I have been the most mad at outside of, we're not talking about family traumas because they're there, but the person I've been the most mad at the past year, let's just look at the past year, has been me. Me. If it ain't me, then I'll be making it God's fault. But it's me. I've been pissed at myself and I beat myself up. I tell myself stuff that is so mean. It's just not nice. It's not taking consideration like the nuance of life. And it is demotivating. Like, it doesn't make me want to do the stuff that I know I can do, the stuff that excites me. Like, even this right now, live on YouTube, and it's not a prayer call, and I didn't schedule this. Like, I just decided I'm gonna do it. I don't do that. Like, but I'm like, well, why don't you? Like, it just came in my head 2 seconds ago. And then I'm like, all right, do it. And I did it. And I feel some joy from doing that. But this is what I've been stopping myself from doing. And I don't have a good reason for it. And so I don't know. I just felt the need to be like, I can't keep doing the same thing I've been doing because the results that I've been getting from that is pissing me off. Like, it is like not bringing me joy. I don't feel any closer to getting where I want to go, or I am close. And it's like, again, I'm standing at the ledge where I can't go back, but I ain't going forward. And I'm like, well, why is this happening right now? Like, what's the disconnect? And the disconnect is not jumping. It's that simple. The disconnect is not jumping. When you jump, as scary as it is, as visible as you will be, as nerve-wracking as it can be, right? You have all these things going through your mind. Is my parachute, which is God, going to work? The people down below, they're going to be able to see me glide? Am I going to be screaming? Am I going to look crazy, right? You have all of these thoughts going through your head. What's the wind going to have going on? Like, all of it. But at the end of the day, you are at the peak of this season. You cannot go any higher than the point that you're at right now. And to feel the exuberance that you could feel when you fly, you have to jump. You have to. There's no other option because you can't go back. That's where I'm at right now. That's where a lot of us probably are, is we have to jump. It is December 11th. There is no December 10th anymore. That day is over. It's gone. And I cannot tell what December 12th is going to have going on. There's no way for me to know. All I have is this moment right now. And every time that I have this moment right now and I don't take advantage of it, then I'm sitting in another moment and I'm like, I feel like I've been here before. I'm getting some deja vu. Like, I feel like I've already reached this point and it doesn't feel higher than the last time I touched this point. And it's like, you're right, because the next step isn't to try to get to a higher place. That's that chasing the perfection thing. That's not the next step. The next step is to jump. The next step is to have courage. The next step is to walk your faith out, like, for real. Some of us been walking the faith out. We need to run our faith out. That's what we need to do. And it's intimidating. And there's no way around it. Like, it's not gonna get easy all of a sudden. Like, I think it can get easier when we get our reps up, when we put in the work. But off rip, it just being straight, that don't happen all the time. And that's what I've been chasing. I want everything before I do anything to feel perfect, for me to have it completely mapped out in my mind and know exactly what I'm doing. And not only what I'm doing, but what God's going to do and what the people that are going to see what me and God doing are going to do. What? That's an insurmountable amount of pressure that I'm putting on myself. It is an unrealistic expectation, and it's something I'll never be able to achieve. I will never be able to know exactly what God's going to do. I won't. Like, it just won't happen. And I'll never be able to know what other people are going to do. It don't matter how long I've known them. It doesn't matter how many times I've done a thing and I think I know. There's no way for me to know. The only thing that I can do is me. and what I feel called to do. And I have made that really difficult for myself for a long time. And it is suffocating. It is it's making me shrink. I'm watching myself get smaller and 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 smaller. And I look up and I'm like, where am I at? Where I go? Like, I don't feel like me. Now, I think I'm changing. Please know. I feel like everything that has been happening the past year is God changing who I am, like for the better. Like he's like, yeah, I do need certain things to change. It's very caterpillar to butterfly. Like, you know what I'm saying? You developing wings, that is a process. There are things that are happening. So I think that feeling that I have is not me making that up. Like that's happening. But the shrinkage, I don't think you have to shrink because you're changing. I actually think that you take up more space. When you think about a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, they're actually taking up more space. And that's why they got to bust out that cocoon after a while because it cannot hold the totality of who they've become. And that's what's happening. I'm becoming a new person. You're becoming a new person with the struggle and strife that you're going through. And when that happens, you gonna need new space. You're gonna need new room, right? And going into that new space, trying to figure out how to fly when you was crawling your whole life, that takes getting used to. And if you are chasing perfection and you want to know how to fly immediately, it's not gonna happen. And the thing about it on our butterflies, you know, butterflies' wings when they first get out the cocoon, it be wet still from the metamorphosis process. So how they even fly their first couple flights isn't how they're gonna fly in like 6 weeks. You know, because their wings will be like, you know, fully developed, it'll be dried off, blah, blah. They'll be used to flying and what that feels like. But in the beginning, that's not how I go. In the beginning, it's very much like, oof, like it's a little rough, like, you know, and that's a part of it. And what I have been doing is I will step out and do something. The launch of the merch, for example, YouTube, for example. And then I'll be like, ugh, this feels kind of rough. This don't feel how I thought I was gonna feel. This don't feel like the promise God told me. This don't feel like what I wrote down in my journal. This doesn't feel natural. And then I decide I'm never gonna fly again. What? That doesn't even make sense. And what that does, it's a guarantee that I'm not gonna get the promises that God gave me. Literally. Like it's literally me being in a race. I see I'm behind, and instead of picking up speed, I'll just start walking. Huh? And then I'm mad because I'm not sitting on the podium with a medal at the end. What are you talking about? Of course you don't have a medal at the end because you bowed out the race altogether. It's crazy. And me doing that, it doesn't serve who I am. It doesn't serve who God called me to be. It don't serve none of my prayers I'm lifting up. None of that. None of that. So how do we move forward? How do we move forward? I think, and this is uncomfortable, but I think that there are things that I'm going to do that are not going to be planned out. And that's not the destiny way, let me tell you. I don't even know if that's a God way. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're supposed to, is it Habakkuk 2? We're supposed to write the vision and make it plain. We're supposed to be still and know. And when you know, then you can move forward, right? I'm thinking about all these scriptures and stories of people who they were going to battle, and it's like, all right, we're gonna go through this town, we're gonna do that thing, we're gonna walk around 7 times, and then we're gonna scream. Like, that's how I see it's supposed to happen. But there are also times when people just walked up and did something and they had no idea how it was gonna be panned out. And I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I think that's my way forward right now, because if I do it the other way, it's just too much space for me to think. It's too much space for me to talk myself out of something. It's too much space for me to watch 10 YouTube videos and try to see if those people feel the same thing I'm feeling. And if they're going to do the same thing I feel like I'm supposed to do. And if they don't, then I'm like, well, I need confirmation. And then I don't do anything. And it's crazy. You know, it's like insane. And I do not want to live my life that way. I really don't. I urge y'all, I did something last night and today that really changed my perspective a little bit. I hope it stick with me. I went back and read some old journals that I have. Like I've been keeping all my journals, well, not all of them. I have some from like when I was little. I don't know where they are, but I got some journals from when I first moved to New York 6 years ago. I read the first two journals that I have, which went about like a year and some change. And it was crazy. Some of my emotions that I have right now, some of my feelings that I have right now, I was like, oh, I felt this before. I've been here before. It was very eerie to see that the things that I feel right now that are so like insurmountable, like they feel like the biggest mountain I've ever felt in my life. I read my words from me and I was like, girl, you've been here before. You've had this feeling before. You've dealt with anxiety before. You have dealt with disbelief before. You've dealt with trying to figure out what's your purpose and are you going the right way? And you felt distant from God before. You felt very close to God and like, oh my God, he's giving you revelation every 2 minutes. Like you felt everything that you felt before, which means that you will get through this. Like it was like I said, it was a trippy thing to realize that like what I'm going through right now. I thought it was so new and so 2023. And then I look back and I'm like, you felt this in 2017. You felt this in 2018. That was crazy. But it gave me a little boost to be like, all right. When I was reading some things, I was like, oh, little Des, like you were so sad. Girl, I know how this worked out. Like it ended up working out great. Or, yeah, you were sad, but you actually weren't sad as long as you think. Or you needed that friend breakup because I don't know, they weren't supposed to go to like the next thing that I went to, right? Like because I know my life and I know what happened next, I was able to read it and like see when I was tripping, right? And then I was like, oh, I'm probably tripping right now. And I don't realize it because it feels fresh right now. It feels like I'm supposed to have anxiety. Let me tell y'all, this is me. This is such a random live right now. But I had an anxiety attack a week ago. I had an anxiety attack a week ago and it freaked me out. Like I was like, I couldn't breathe and I was just stressed and I was worried I was going to go depressed. You know what I'm saying? I ended up calling a friend. She helped me out. I was reading Psalms 119, I believe. That helped me out. I cried. That helped me out. But yeah, I had an anxiety attack a week ago. And I just didn't. I don't feel at my best, and I want to not show up if I'm being real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is why podcast episodes have been very far few in between. YouTube videos have not been a priority. I was just like, let's just survive and breathe normally. Let's make that the focus. But I had the panic attack because I'm panicking, which I don't need to do because I've been here before. And God has been here many times. Like he's literally handling all the billions of people on the earth at once. And he's already done it for us in the past. And he's already in the future with us too. Like he's like everywhere. And it's all going to work out. Even though I have no idea how that's going to happen. And which is why Matthew 6 tells us not to be stressed out. So you don't have a panic attack. Like, you know? And in reading my old journals, I'm just trying to like let go or whatever my expectations are or who the heck I'm supposed to be right now, who I was and I'm not no more, who I think I'm gonna be, and that's intimidating. Like all of that stuff, it just isn't necessary. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I decided that I need to do a YouTube live right now? I can't tell you. I don't know. It just happened. But I feel good about it. And I was like, maybe I'll keep it up, maybe I won't. But I'm still recording it. I don't have to decide if I'm gonna keep it up or not right now. I just have to be in this moment, you know? And I feel like I don't do that enough. Most of the time, I want to meticulously, down to the second, plan down everything. And when I do that, it does not allow space for God, the Holy Spirit, or even my own creativity to have flexibility at all. And when things happen and life happens and it is not happening exactly how I want it to happen, it deters me. And then I want to go back into my cave and not do anything because I'm like, oh, well, it's not going to work. And it's like, how do you know that? Maybe it's just working a new way. So, all my subscribers are not going to watch this live, and that's okay. But for the people that are, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm supposed to talk about. I kind of like recording vlogs. I really like editing vlogs, to be honest. I get to like relive my happy moments and all that. But then I don't know, people kind of watch them, they kind of don't. I think they could be better. So I'm like, maybe I need to make my vlogs better. I don't know. But I'm just like, I don't have everything mapped out. I don't have everything planned out. I don't know if I'm gonna keep vlogging. I do know I'm gonna keep recording on YouTube, but about what per se, who's to say? Like it could all change tomorrow. I could do more random lives like I'm doing right now. Like I do not have this thing planned out at all. And I think that's the point. Like if I'm hearing God right, I think I'm supposed to just like create on vibes right now and I'll get what I'm supposed to get. And that's scary. It's intimidating. I don't want to do it because I don't have a guarantee that it's going to get me what I want. But I am at the peak and I'm standing at this point where I can't go backward and I don't know what going forward looks like. And I'm tired of standing here wondering, you know? I'm tired of trying to piece it together completely in my head. I'm tired of trying to be God, to be real, and not just move, you know? I like think it's so dope how there are some people who they just get an idea and they run it. Like they don't over plan, they don't over strategize, they just do it. And that's mind boggling to me that there are people like that that exist in this world. Like, what do you mean you thought something and then you did it? Huh? Like, but I think that's true freedom right now. And I feel very constrained. When I had my panic attack, I felt tight in my chest. I couldn't think straight. Like it was just a lot going on. And I think it's because emotionally, that's how I feel. I feel constrained. And I don't think the constraint has come from God at all. Like I think it's come from me and the barriers that my search for perfection have put on me. So bit by bit, I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm not gonna be able to plan how I get rid of it. It's just gonna happen randomly, and I think that random is okay. I'm not used to it, but it's okay. So, just wanted to share that. This is very, very random, but here we are. Thanks for listening. If you listened, and I hope that y'all are doing well, and I'll be sharing more soon. Love y'all. Bye.